Hey, Cindy here from themommaven.com, and today I'm going to show you a little bit about the Mazda 6i Grand Touring that I have been driving for the last week, courtesy of Mazda USA and Drive STI. For the most part, I have thoroughly enjoyed driving this car. It rides so smooth compared to the SUV I usually drive, so that's been a nice respite, having some time in a nice comfy luxury type car. Let's see, a quick tour of things. On the steering wheel, we have a lot of buttons and controls. We can do our cruise control, our radio volume and telephone information here. You can connect your phone either through the Bluetooth, which is how I usually have it, or there's also a USB plug where you can connect in. My son likes to do that when he's in the car and actually play his Spotify through it. And you can do that through the music area of the controls. You've got many choices, including FM radio, AM radio, XM radio, Pandora, and Bluetooth or USB or CD. So there's lots of entertainment options in this car. We've mostly had it on FM radio, but we've used lots of other things, HD radio, you name it, we've kind of listened to it in the time that we've had the car. Here in the front control panel, we have dual air heat controls, which have been nice. We've had kind of the full gamut of weather here in Florida lately. Right now it's hot out, so as you can see, the air conditioner's on. This car does have heated seats, but it's just the seat portion, and it's just heat, not air conditioned or not cooled seats, so we haven't used those much. We did try them out just to make sure they worked. Other things we can do on this main console is, other than the music and all of that, we have communication, which is where our phones can be hooked in. We also have a pretty darn good Nav System that I've used several times to get me places. What I really like is if you have your music playing and you're using the Nav System, it will lower the music on the driver's side speakers in the car so that you can hear the directions the Nav System's giving you. So that's helpful, because sometimes with other Nav Systems you have to keep your music off or really soft so that you're sure of what they're telling you to do. This car is loaded with safety features. One being the rear view camera, so that, you know, when you're backing out of the driveway or a parking space or whatever, you can see things behind you, and that is always handy. Especially, we live in a neighborhood with lots of kids running around, so it's always good to be able to double and triple check what's behind you. It also has blind spot monitors, so if there's a car in your blind spot on either side, it lights up on the side view mirrors, and that's really helpful. And then if you try to still change into that lane where there's a car, it will make noise and let you know that, hey, there's something over there, don't go over there, you don't want to get hurt. Another feature this car has, which we haven't decided if we love it or hate it or fall somewhere in between, is the lane departure system. I like it when I'm on the highway, and if we were road tripping or even just hopping over to Orlando to go to Disney World, I like it on the highway, because sometimes when you're driving a long time in a straight road, it is kind of easy to drift lanes, and if you start to drift lanes, it buzzes and lets you know. Around town, it can be a little more of a pain, because if you should tend to be a person that changes lanes a lot without using your directional, then it's always telling you you're veering out of your lane, and that can be annoying. It would be really annoying for my husband, who tends to not use his directionals very often, especially around town. Let's see. This has a good sized back seat and a rather large trunk, which is nice for groceries or luggage or whatever you need. We also have the sunroof that opens. It is a little noisy. The wind deflector doesn't work as well as in some other cars I've driven, but it is a nice feature, especially here in Florida in the spring, to be able to have the sunroof open and let a little fresh air in as you're driving down the road. Some of the other really cool features in this car is it has automatic high beams. I'll be honest, kind of freaked me out the other night. We were taking some back roads to come back home when we'd gone out to dinner, and I was just reaching over to turn on my high beams, and they came on automatically and went off when a car came towards me and went back on again. So it's a really cool feature. I just didn't know it existed, so it kind of freaked me out for a second because we were talking about high beams and then it came on almost like it was voice controlled, but it's not. It just senses everything because this car has so many different kinds of sensors on it. It also has rain sensing wipers, which it hasn't rained here in Florida in the last week, but this car was covered in yellow pollen. Welcome to spring in Florida. So Jordan hosed it off for me, and the car was turned on because I just pulled it up so he could hose it off real quick, and there go the windshield wipers because it sensed water on the windshield, which again is freaky but cool, and really cool living in Florida with our crazy on again off again rains. Another feature that freaked me out a little at first is adaptive cruise control. Took her out on the highway, of course, went down, set the cruise control, and you can set basically how far you want to be from the car ahead of you, and when you get within those parameters, the car automatically slows down to keep you safe. It took a little bit for me to have faith that it would actually do that, but it does, and it's a pretty cool feature. Again, if you're on the highway a lot, take a lot of road trips, wonderful feature to look for in a vehicle, and the Mazda 6 has it. It also has a braking feature just in general if you get too close. Like if you're coming to a stop and you're not stopping fast enough, or if you're distracted, which you shouldn't be, but if you're distracted, it will brake for you to help you avoid rear-ending somebody, which is an awesome feature. But I must say, my absolute favorite feature in this entire vehicle is the heads-up display. That's this little thing right here, and it pops up when you turn the car on, and it projects from down there up there, and it tells you how fast you're going. It also has some different signals in there. If you're using navigation, it'll have an arrow so that you know the next time that you're turning, which way you're turning, left or right, so you know which lane to be in. And it also shows you if you're doing that veering out of your lane. It shows you that. It shows you all sorts of different things, and it's a really cool feature because I realized since I've been driving this car, I have never actually looked down here at the speedometer or the tach or even the gas gauge. I'll be honest, I still have half a tank left, so I'm good there. I do check that when I get into the car, but I don't look down here when I'm driving. It helps me keep my eyes on the road because it's literally popped up right in front of me. I will say the one thing, okay, two things about this car that I don't love. It's a car, so it's lower to the ground, and with my bad knees, I do have a little trouble getting in and out. I have learned that when I get in and out, I just push the seat all the way to the back. It's automatic. You just push the little button, and I have set it where I want the seat to be when I drive, so I just push the little button over here to the left of the driver's seat, and the car pulls up, the seat pulls up to where I need it to be so that I can drive comfortably. And the other thing is, I'm always irritated by things in my window, in my area, and things like my husband loves to just throw papers on the dashboard, and it drives me crazy because I see them. And I notice driving at night, because of where the screen is, it glares and kind of reflects up here at night, and it annoys me because I don't like things in my field of view, and having that reflection there really kind of drove me crazy when I drive at night. But other than those things, which are both rather minor, I love the Mazda 6. It's been so comfortable. It's driving great. I'm getting about 25 miles a gallon around the city and about 35 on the highway. So those numbers are pretty good. And we've really enjoyed driving the Mazda 6. And if you want more information, you can check out my blog post at themommaven.com. Thanks for watching.